And alright. We blasted Berserker away with our combined efforts with Saber, because Shiro somehow, I guess, projected a sword he saw from his dreams. And his dreams were like a flashback, right? From, I assume, Saber's past. Or future? Or, I don't know, actually. I assume Saber's past. Yeah. And we used the sword he saw from his dream. Amazing. And it looks like we defeated him, though. Berserker has more lives, doesn't he? Let's just see. Light disappears and silence returns to the forest. Strength departs from my body. The body that was so hot starts to cool down. The sword is disappearing from the tip. Oh, it was only one use? I watch it absent-mindedly. We stand next to each other, holding the same sword until it disappears completely. Wind blows through the forest clearing. Neither the howling that shook the ground nor the blows that cut the air remain now. The undefeatable giant becomes motionless and says so in a deep voice, gazing at the knight that defeated him. Wait, who's this other voice? I don't... Saber nods quietly. And well, I guess, yeah, there was two swords, right? If I remember correctly. In the Saber backstory and the status character sheet thingy. I guess we can look at it right now. Where was it? Details. Was it here or... I don't remember. But yeah, it was the sword of choosing, you know, pulling the sword out of the stone, that story. Maybe if we look at weapon. Yeah, caliber. Yeah, it's the sword that Saber took out of the stone, became king. And it's different from Excalibur. I assume Excalibur is the sword she has. Because, well, she yells the name when she does her big old sword beam attack. So there's two swords. And Shiro made the other one, somehow. Berserker's chest splits open. Slowly. From the wound made by that light, he crumbles away like sand. What? So it completely bypassed Berserker's like 12 lives or whatever? Or at least, you know, the remaining lives he had. And I guess this voice is Hercules himself? Oh. I thought Hercules was like insane and couldn't talk. And just like roared all the time, but I guess he's talking right now as he's dying. I never knew he had that ability. He puts no emotion into his dying words. The mad warrior follows his role until the very end, and his existence disperses as if fading into the air. I feel dizzy. It must be the cost of using excessive magic. My blood that ran wild is crushing my brain with too much oxygen. And on top of that, I have a headache like my head is splitting open, like Hirokyu's chest, as he died. It's because the enemy has disappeared, and the thing numbing my pain has disappeared. The dizziness and the headache come at me as if to make up for what has accumulated. Saber supports my collapsing body, but she can't have any energy to spare to care for me. There's someone I have to talk to first. Yeah, I wonder what Ilya feels about this. Saber prepares herself. Ilya is staring at the place where Berserker used to be with empty eyes. Time to decapitate. Oh yeah, Shiro wouldn't want that. I stop Saber with my remaining strength. She must not realize we're here. Staring at the ground, Ilya murmurs. She sounds like an abandoned child. Ilya slightly raises her head and... suddenly falls to the ground like a marionette with cut strings. I don't know what's going on. I just stare at the girl on the ground. Oh, at first I thought she was just crying, but is actually something actually wrong? Oh no, wait, that was Tosaka. I thought Ilya was the one gasping and choking, but actually it was just Tosaka, getting up from being squeezed and her ribs being broken, I assume. As if to replace her, Tosaka gets up. Berserker's hand has disappeared and it seems she's free. Oh good, she's not dead. I must have relaxed seeing Tosaka's safety. I feel like I'm about to faint. But I can't whine like that. Even though we defeated Berserker, we're still in this forest. We have to push our wounded bodies and get out of this forest now. I look up at the dawning sky. The town is far away, and I cannot find any uninjured allies nor any place on my body that's not hurt. But still, we made it to the morning. The night I was prepared not to live through. After driving off the greatest enemy, we leave the winter forest. I wonder, did we bring Ilya with us, or did she go back to the castle? The sky is thin. Is it dawn or dusk? As I am watching from outside, I cannot tell. A vast sky and a high field. A sky that seems unreachable even with arms outstretched. And clouds that do seem reachable with arms outstretched. This is a battle she once went through. There are no cavalry alongside. The grassland, once golden as far as the eye could see, is gone. Under the dark gray sky, the only thing stretching out is the remains of battle, which she is well accustomed to. There is no emotion. For her, such scenes must have been ordinary. There is nothing left in her lonely heart. Leaning on her golden sword, she breathes deeply once and slowly relaxes her shoulders. The battle must be over. After glancing at the bodies of the defeated soldiers, she returns to her camp. That was the battle she experienced. The calm attitude is the same as now. No matter what trouble she's in, she is just as I know her. And in that way, I see the dream of a king. From the moment she drew the sword from the stone, she was not human. After becoming a feudal lord like her father, she became a king with many knights. She was called King Arthur, or Artoria, and the girl who had tried to become a knight had her life turned around. And you know, what is it? King Arthur or Artoria? Wasn't this like, it's a bit like a translation or localization like conflict or something like that? Where, you know, I think I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but in Fate Grand Order, her name's a bit different. I think it's Altria or something instead of Artoria. Even though, I mean, I don't know what the correct translation would be. I mean, technically, it would just be King Arthur because she's literally King Arthur. I don't know. Well, she acted as the son of the king. That is because the one to govern many territories and control the knights had to be male. The only ones who knew that the king was just a girl were her father and the magus. She literally covered herself in steel and sealed that truth for all her life. Amazing. Of course, it's not like no one grew suspicious of her. But the king of knights with the holy sword will not suffer wounds or age. Excalibur bears the protection of their fairies, making its possessor immortal. Therefore, nobody questioned the knight's small body, and the face that seemed like that of a girl became honored by the knights as a good-looking king. Oh, they thought King Arthur was simply Bishonen. Anyway, the king was truly invincible. There was no room for body size nor looks to enter into it. The people living in fear of savage invasions wanted a strong king, and the knights of the battlefield would only follow an excellent commander. The king met all of these criteria, and so no one questioned who the king was. It doesn't matter if the king is a child or a woman. The only point is that it must function as the king to protect the country. The new king was fair and selfless, and always stood in front of the army, defeating enemies on the battlefield. Shooting sword beams was pretty cool. Many enemies and many people died, but the king's choices were always correct, and she served as the king better than anyone else. There was no doubt and no need for doubt while the king was right. Knowing no loss on the battlefield, her army reconstructed the now lost cavalry and literally ran through the battlefield, defeating foreign infantries and crashing through numerous ramparts. Ramparts? Was she always in front of the army because her country was behind her? She had to discard many people to join battle. As long as she joined battle, she had to defeat all her enemies. It was normal practice to meet military needs by sucking everything out of the local village for the battle to protect the country. In that regard, there could not be any knights that killed more people than her. I do not know if she ever found that burden. That is not something I can tell from a dream. But there is no doubt in her figure, running through the battlefield. She does not even narrow her eyes in grief while she sits on the throne. A king is not human. One cannot protect the people with human emotions. She kept that oath strictly. She settled every problem and worked hard in government affairs. She balanced the country without any deviations and punished people without a single mistake. And after ending yet another battle of victory, commanding the people without disorder and punishing hundreds of criminals. King Arthur does not understand human feelings. A knight close to her murmured. Perhaps everyone felt that way. The more perfect she became as the king, the more they questioned her as a ruler. A person without human emotion cannot rule over others. Several reputable knights left Camelot, but the king took it as a natural event and accepted it as the part of a process of the government. Thus, the fair king, honored by her knights, isolated herself. But such trivial things are of no concern to a king. Her mind will not change even if she is abandoned, feared, or betrayed. There's no right or wrong. She abandoned her emotions from the moment she decided to pull out the sword. And, in that way, her final battle began. The battle at Badon Hill ended in complete victory, and because of the overwhelming results, the savages sought a reconciliation. The country that would have just awaited destruction earned a brief period of peace. The chaos that had demanded an absolute hero has ended. Britain is finally returning to the country she has dreamed of. The scene starts to fade away. Somewhere in my head, I realize that I'm waking up and the dream is ending. It was all a dream. Once again. I will lose consciousness and wake up soon. But before that, something really annoys me. She's stupid. Certainly, she must have been strong and good at fighting, but that doesn't mean she's well suited for it. I'm also angry at the people around her. If she didn't notice it, someone else around her had to tell her, or she'd keep making that same mistake forever. Jeez, she had so many people around her. Why did none of them tell her the truth? I guess that's Shiro's opinion of Saber's, I assume, Saber's past. I wake up. We escaped Ilia's forest and came back to this house yesterday afternoon. Tosaka went back to her room, saying that the wound in her stomach was hurting, and I also wanted to go to sleep since my headache was still around. Well, hopefully Tosaka's fine. I mean, she doesn't have the healing ability that we have, right? So it might be debilitating. What's the word? Debilitating? Debilitating? I don't know. It might be a serious wound. For her, anyway. It must also have been because I carried something heavy all the way here. When I got to my room and lay down, I couldn't even get back up. Oh, what did Shiro carry? Saber was the only one unhurt, so Tosaka and I went to sleep, letting her keep watch over the house and... So, I was thinking the last time Shiro carried something, it was Saber, but Saber's fine, so maybe Tosaka? Or maybe...
半日眠ってたわけか。さすがに頭痛は収まってるな。
I'm relieved. The thing with Berserker, the headache that started when I duplicated Saber's sword was terrible. If that headache continued, my head would have broken before my body did. Wait. Saber is sitting Japanese style beside my futon.
なんだよ、朝から辛気臭い顔して。俺が眠ってる間に何かあったのか？
いいえ、ただ夢を見てしまったもので。いえ、何でもありません。それより朝食にしましょう、シロ。もう起きる時間です。
Saber gets up and leaves the room quietly. I don't know why Saber's acting so weird. I don't know, but... well... you had a dream, she had a dream. Coincidence?
枕元に正座してたってことは、看病しててくれたのかな？
Dude. As soon as I think so, I recall that scene. That was totally not a anti-computer graphics art, or what do you call it? CGI. CGI is what's that stand for? Like computer graphics. Actually, I don't know what the I stands for. Image? Computer graphics image? Anyway.
何考えてんだ？
It was totally just like a dragon with lava and stuff. It's all a metaphor. I shake my head and clear the thoughts out of my head. That night, Saber and I touched one another because I'm her master. I have to think like that or I won't be able to look at her properly.
平常心、平常心。昨日帰ってくるときはいつも通りだったじゃないか。それでいいんだ。それで。
Well, no. I was just too tired yesterday, but stay calm anyways. First of all, Saber will be troubled if I act like this.
よし。とにかく落ち着いて朝飯作らないと。
I take a deep breath and start changing. It's 9 in the morning. Saber must be really hungry as we haven't eaten since yesterday afternoon. I guess you can't call it morning now. That's past 9. Well, I mean, I would call it morning. Anything before around like 11 or noontime basically is morning. To me anyway. Considering Saber, I'll make a fairly large meal.
シロ、今朝は私とあなただけですが、リンを起こさなくていいのですか？
ああ、みんなまだ寝てるんだろ？昨日が昨日だし、無理に起こすこともない。飯は作っておけば勝手に食べるだろうし。
そうですか。それでは早めに支度をしてもらえると助かります。もうこんな時間になってしまいましたから。分かってる。体の調子もいいし、食べ終わったら道場に行こう。え、道場に行くとは、まだ私と剣の鍛錬を続けるのですか？
なんで？日課じゃないか、あれ。どうした、セイバー。なんか変なこと言ったか、俺。
あ、いえ。もう鍛錬はしないのだろうと勝手に思い込んでいました。バーサーカーが倒れた今、シローがそこまで必死になる理由はなくなったのではないかと。
Well, Berserker is defeated, but there are other masters and servants to fight later on, I assume. We have to be prepared.
そっか。言われてみればそうかもしれない。
Tosaka and Saber and I, our common enemy, is now gone. We cooperated because we were targeted by an enemy superior to us. That's why I trained as well.
でも鍛錬は続けるぞ。俺はまだ半人前だし、セイバーは剣を持つと本音を出すからな。その方が俺も話してて楽だ。
Well, when I say it's a help, I mean it's fun.
はあ。道 私は本音を出しているのでしょうか。
出してるよ。少なくとも気兼ねはしてないだろう。俺もその方が楽だし、セイバーも肩の力が抜けていいんじゃないか。ともかく午前中はセイバーと剣を合わせるのが日課なんだ。数少ない俺の楽しみを取らないでくれ。
I take ground beef and pork, mushroom, onion, and eggs out of the refrigerator and head to the kitchen. I'll also need breadcrumbs, alcohol, salad oil, and...
はあ、そういうことでしたら、私も反論はありませんが。
Saber murmurs something in the living room. I'm already in the kitchen, so I unfortunately couldn't hear her. I start mixing. I mix onion, breadcrumbs, alcohol, egg, and salt, and put it with the beef and pork. I've decided to cook Japanese-style hamburger for breakfast. If I remember correctly, since I'm a big weeb, Japanese-style hamburger is not exactly the same as, you know, Western-style hamburger.
リン、目が覚めたのですか?
It's more like, you know, bread on a plate, or not bread. Like there isn't bread, rather. It's just the meat itself on a plate. And it's like I don't know what you would call it. It's like you eat it like a steak, actually. Right. I can hear Saber's voice from the living room. I turn around while cooking.
おはよう。ごめん、牛乳飲ませて、シロ。
Ah, not a morning person. If I remember correctly. Osaka comes over with an unhappy face and takes some milk out of the refrigerator.
寝すぎて頭痛い。あれ？何？朝から凝ってるじゃない。
Where did that bad mood from earlier go? Her eyes gleam as soon as she turns to me.
へえ、美味しそう。ちょうどお腹も減ってたし、助かったわ。
I see, but you're the one that benefits, not me. This must be what my father said. For someone to benefit, someone must lose. I don't think that's exactly what he means.
前から思ってたんだが、お前割と目ざといよな。
あら、人並みに目端が利くだけよ。それじゃあ、私の分もよろしくね。
Waving her hand, Tosaka returns to the living room. With a glass of milk in one hand, she takes position at the table. No. Should I say she's really relaxing or acting like royalty?
だらけていますね、リン。
Alright, way to go, Saber. She sure is good at saying difficult things. But Osaka waves off Saber's criticism lazily like she doesn't care.
そりゃだらけもするわよ。バーサーカーがいなくなった今、あとはキャスターとランサーとアサシンでしょ。バーサーカーに比べたら大した敵じゃないし、今のセーバーなら余裕で撃退できるじゃない。
I guess, yeah, Rin is just very confident. Though, I mean, technically, she has no stake in the Holy Grail War anymore, right? Archer's gone, so it's not like she can win. Which actually makes sense, because that's why she's so lazy. She doesn't really care anymore. She's out of the race, technically. But Caster, Lancer, and Assassin. I guess to count the servants that are still in the war, Saber is still alive. Lancer, we haven't seen him for a while, since the very beginning, but I guess he hasn't been defeated yet. Archer's gone. He got defeated by Berserker. Ryder got a taste of Excalibur, so she's gone. Caster, I think we saw her very briefly in a bad end, but like I guess we don't really know much about her. Or him. Well, I think it was her, actually. There's Assassin, who's I assume still at the temple. And Berserker's gone. Yeah, Assassin, Lancer, and Saber, and Caster. 4 of the 7 are still alive. I wonder, well, it seems Assassin was working with Castor though, right? Because Castor was within the Ryudo temple and Assassin's protecting it. So they have an alliance. Lancer is, I don't think he's working with anybody. So we can only assume he's an independent agent, unless he decides to work with Castor as well, but we haven't seen any evidence of that yet. In which case, if we do try, like, Rin is being confident, right? She's saying that, you know, Saber can defeat any of these servants pretty easily, now that she's at her full strength. But, will we take down Castor that easily? It might be difficult. It's gonna be 2 versus 1. Or maybe 3 versus 1. If Lancer somehow joins in the fun.
それはわかりません。ランサーもアサシンも一筋縄で行く相手ではない。キャスターに至ってはまだ出会ってもいないではないですか。
Except, you know, again, that one scene where we got stabbed by her.
謙遜謙遜。アーサー王の手にかかっちゃ、そんじゃそこらの英霊なんて10羽一からげでしょ。今までは魔力不足で嘆いてたけど、それも解決したし、今のセイバーに対抗できるサーバントなんて一人もいないわ。
Wait, the Rin just called Saber King Arthur? I guess maybe we told her? Or maybe you noticed or something like that? Because I don't think she's supposed to know that. Not supposed to know Saber's true name, unless Shiro told her or something like that. Saber narrows her eyes at Tosaka's words. I feel the same way. The thing Tosaka just said can't be ignored lightly.
Tosaka? お前、セイバーが誰かって気づいてたのか?
Yeah, that was exactly what I was wondering.
うすうすね。確信が持てたのは昨日よ。あれだけの政権を扱える英雄なんて一人しかいないもの。
Oh, she saw.
まあ、伝説のアーサー王が女の子っていうのには驚いたけど、目の前にいるんじゃ信じるしかないじゃない。
I guess, King Arthur put on the super crown. Anyway.
それに、伝説なんて都合よく改ざんされたものでしょ。セイバーが隠したのか、周囲が隠したのか知らないけど、確かに中世の王様が女の子ってのは都合が悪いものね。そりゃ誰が何と言おうと男として扱うわよ。
I mean, I guess in this universe, why not? I guess the argument here, at least I don't know, in this Fate Stay Night universe, King Arthur was a woman all along, but nobody, you know, criticized the fact that she looked feminine or anything because they just assumed that a king would be a man, and that's how the legends of King Arthur was passed on, or something like that. Tosaka has the same tone of voice as always. Saber doesn't seem to care that much either. He rather seems to be agreeing with Tosaka's opinion and shows no sign of denying anything. So she has clearly admitted that it's true. A hero related to swords is chosen for the servant Saber. From that perspective, she is certainly the best Saber there could be. The great hero of England. The bearer of the holy sword that everybody, even in this distant country, has heard of. But if that's the case, then what? The end of the legend of King Arthur ends with the king's death. No, they are still human, even though they are heroes. It's only natural for their last moment to end in death, but no hero dies normally. King Arthur was no exception. No hero dies normally. I mean, that kind of makes sense, you know? Because heroes technically always put themselves in danger and stuff. So the risk of death, of dying as they're doing their heroic deeds, are pretty high, I assume. I remember that the end of King Arthur was in a war, the Great Battle of Camlan. Having unified Britain and with no outside enemies to defeat, King Arthur faced an unexpected enemy in the end. The enemy was her own army that she protected. Because of a betrayal by the one she trusted, King Arthur was attacked by the knights she had fought with. It is said that the king had to defeat them. King Arthur succeeded in defeating the enemy leader, but took a fatal wound in the process and entrusted her only surviving knight, Sir Bedivere, with the return of the Holy Sword. Go past this bloody battlefield and the hill. There should be a lake there. Throw this sword into that lake. But Bedivere could not follow the order. Fearing the loss of the sword, Bedivere gave a false report the first and the second time, saying that he had thrown the sword into the lake. Every time, King Arthur would order Bedivere to throw the sword away, and the order was followed on the third trip. And it is said that King Arthur died after ascertaining that the Holy Sword had been returned.
それよりシロ、あんたこれからどうする気よ？
And then, Posaka suddenly glares at me.
どうするって何をだよ。
だから和室で寝てる物騒な子供のことよ。
Yep, a dangerous child. I think I know what Shiro brought home with him.
放っておけって言ったのに、ここまで連れてきたのはあんたじゃない。
それについては私も言いたい。バーサーカーを失ったとはいえ、イリアスフィールは危険なマスターだ。それを保護するなど、シロはどうかしています。
そうそう。あんなのは綺麗に預けちまえばいいのよ。
The two judge this a good time and glare at me together. Well, that's right. Ilya fainted after Berserker disappeared. I couldn't just leave her be, since she showed no sign of waking up, so I brought her here. Posaka and Saber objected, so I was the one who carried her. A master who loses their servant has to run away, or go to the church for protection before they're killed by other masters. You know, ironically, Ilya is the one who killed us when we gave up our status as a master, but no. Tosaka says we should let Kotomine take care of her, but I'm letting her sleep in a room here since I don't think he would take very good care of her. Little children and priests. I'm not saying anything, but maybe that's why Shiro's suspicious.
シロ、あなたの考えは立派ですが、イリアスフィールに関わるのは危険です。今ならまだ間に合う。早々に教会に預けるか、その令状を剥奪するべきだ。
I guess, yeah, she is still a threat if she still has a command spell. Wasn't her entire body a command spell, or was that something else? I don't know. And again, wasn't that magic crest? Because I remember Rin saying something like how a magic crest only shows up when you activate it, you know? But like, But didn't Ilya say she didn't have a magic crest or something? I'm not sure, actually. She's serious. Convincing her will be really difficult.
なんだよ。だってほっとくわけにはいかないだろう。イリアはまだ子供なんだし、様子もおかしかった。琴峰に預けるのはなんかかわいそうだし。
かわいそう？あんたね、あの子にあんな目に遭わされて、まだそんな寝ぼけたこと言うわけ？
Also killed us a bunch of times and made you into like a doll slave thing that one time in many alternate timelines.
同感です。シロはイリアスフィールに感情移入しすぎています。彼女は何度もシロを殺そうとしたではないですか。
And succeeded. The two are even more united now. But I can't let them talk me out of it.
確かにイリアは敵だった。けど、あいつに邪気はなかった。ちゃんと言いつけてやる奴がいれば、イリアはもうあんなことはしない。それに、一番初めに言ったはずだ。俺はマスターを殺すために戦うんじゃない。戦いを終わらせるために戦うだけだって。
それは分かってはいますが。
Saber doesn't agree, but her voice softens. But
そう。それじゃあイリアスフィールのしたことを全部許すっていうの？言っとくけど、あの子は私たち以外のマスターも襲っている。もしかしたらもう何人かマスターを殺しているかもしれない。それでもあなたは助けてやるっていうのね。
yeah, she did. She did kill Shinji, right? Which, actually, I would give her some brownie points actually because of killing Shinji. Well, then again, I would have preferred killing Shinji myself, but I mean.
それは。
It's fine. If her only victim was Shinji, I think it's okay. Well, that's right. Ilya admitted it. She killed Shinji. Good for her. Shinji used Ryder to try to kill the students at school. If those were his intentions as a master, I guess his death couldn't be helped. But still, Shinji is a friend I've known for years, and thinking about Sakura, I can't forgive everything Ilya did. I would. Shinji isn't a good friend. I don't think he's a friend at all.
けど、それじゃ終わりがないだろ。イリアがマスターで亡くなって、自分のしたことを悔やめるようになるのなら、俺は助けるべきだと思う。
そうね。それは正しい。けどシロー、私はアーチャーのことを帳消しにする気はないの。私のアーチャーはあいつに殺されたんだから。
Yeah, and also your chances of getting the Grail, so that's understandable for Rin. Everybody freezes. We freeze, looking at each other. And
何よ。サーバントなんて最後にはみんな消えちゃうじゃない。そんなこと気にしてるなんて、マスター失格ね、リン。
you're not helping things, Ilya. Why are you doing this? The girl under discussion, who should be asleep, appears.
イリアスフィール。
待ちなさい。あなたたちに用はないわ。戦う気もないから、そんなにいきり立たないでくれない？
Well, it doesn't help that you provoke them.
ほんと、同じレディーとして恥ずかしいわ。私よりずっと年上なのに、たしなみってものがないんだから。
Ilya shrugs her shoulders as if to show her shock.
なんですって？
Saber and Tosaka get mad together. Actually, technically Saber's a lot older, if you think about it. Then again, I don't know, actually. How do heroic spirits work anyway? Do they have memories, of the many years that passed? Or maybe not, actually. So maybe not. Saber isn't technically as old as she would be if she was still alive from all the way since medieval times, I guess. Anyway, they are scarier in a different sense.
まあ、それも怒らないであげる。今はあなたたちに構ってる場合じゃないもの。
Saying that, Ilya turns to me.
イリア。
礼を言います、セイバーのマスター。敵であった我が身まで気遣うその心遣い、心より 感謝いたしますわ。
You're being awfully polite about this whole thing. You were pretty smug before and a little evil. What are you planning, little girl? I stare at Ilya in surprise. Saber is silent as well, so she might not have expected it either. Tosaka is drinking milk and looking at Ilya suspiciously. Now like an image of her just, while she's sipping on her milk, she's just staring at Ilya. And then, Ilya gives her usual smile and...
なんてね。
Oh,
やっぱりシロはお兄ちゃんだ。
Nani? She comes straight for me and hugs my neck. And then she snaps it, and then I die. Oh no. Or not.
何者。
Tosaka is choking on the milk she's drinking. And Saber seems to be angry. Saber gets mad, but keeps a straight face.
離れなさい、この無礼者。
Saber runs to me, but Ilya spins around behind me, using my neck as a fulcrum.
無礼者はどっちよ。サーバントのくせに私に意見しようなんて100年早いわ。
あなたに従う義務もなければ意思もありません。減らず口を言う暇があるなら今すぐ城から離れなさい。
そんなの聞かないよーだ。ねえシロ、昨日みたいにしよう。あれ、本部って言うんだよね。
Weren't you unconscious that whole time? Were you pretending? Ilya twirls and twirls. The battle of the century. Saber goes around to try to catch her. This is bad. This is really bad. The two stare down doesn't end. It must be because she's watching from a distance. Tosaka wipes the milk off her mouth as if nothing is happening.
どうでもいいんだけどね、二人とも。そのままだとそいつ死ぬわよ。
The two look at my face in surprise. Yes, my neck is being choked and I'm in a real pinch right now. Wasn't I joking about how you would snap Shiro's neck? I guess we really die. Bad end. Anyways, well, let's check the current situation. The hamburger I was making is in the refrigerator right now. First, Tosaka is the quiet one. It seems she's keeping a poker face and trying to see how things turn out, but who knows what she's thinking on the inside.
何シロ。
Ilya is sitting next to me, and she's in a good mood for some reason. She's looking around the living room curiously, but it seems like Tosaka and Saber are none of her concern. She probably wouldn't listen even if they talked to her. And the hardest one to deal with is... Saber, who is glaring... Excuse me. Saber, who is glaring restlessly at me and Ilya. Being restless and uneasy is totally unlike her. Because of her, I feel like I'm sitting on a cushion full of needles. So I can't let things stay like this. I don't know what will come out of this, but I have to make up my mind and escape the current situation.
話をつけよう。いつまでもこうしてちゃ昼になっちまう。
そうね。結論は決まっているし、問題は早めに片付けた方がいいわ。そうでしょ、セイバー。
そうですね。私とリンの意見は同じですから、あとはシローに納得してもらうだけですが。
Saber is ready to fight it out to the very end.
ん？ねえシロ、リンとセイバーは何を話したがってるの？
いや、イリアをどうするかっていう話なんだが、イリアはサーバントを亡くしただろ。だからこの後どうしたものかなって。
そんなの決まってるでしょ。教会に保護させるか、森の城に追い返すのよ。どちらにしたってここにいさせる選択肢はないからね。あ、シロもそう思ってるの
Ilya looks up at me with emotionless eyes. Okay, so we have an option. We have an option here. Well, what Shiro wants to do is probably to keep Ilya around, because for some reason he just doesn't trust the priest. Or we can just let her just go. Just give in to the peer pressure and just give her to the church, or just, you know, go back home to the castle in general. She has those, like, maids, right? So, at the very least, they can help her out. Well, assuming that the maids still want to help her out, because she did technically lose the Holy Grail War, so I don't know. The maids might become hostile, actually, because her whole reason for coming here was to win the Grail for the Einsburn family, and I don't know if failure means death for her. That would be kind of extreme, but that would not be surprising for like any kind of like Magi family, right? Giving her to Kotomine. Why not? He seems trustworthy. It's not like he did anything bad to us. There's that one time in the beginning we interacted with him and he was a little, like, I guess, ominous, but when we wanted to stop being a master, he took our command spells and told us how to, you know, get out of the Holy Grail War, and he even offered us protection. And, well, it was really Shiro's fault, right? Because he said he didn't want the protection, and then he got killed, right, by Ilya, ironically. So yeah, I mean, we haven't seen Kotomine do anything bad necessarily, so though I wonder, like, if we give her to the church, will any of the masters attack the church? Maybe or maybe not, I don't know. I don't know if one priest could fight against like an actual like servant, right? If they really wanted to, they could attack the church. Like any of the masters, like, you know, the caster, lancer, or assassin's master, they could just like go to the church and beat up Kotomine and murder Ilya if they really wanted to. But is there a reason? Maybe, maybe not. Though if we're gonna go to the church, that could be a good ambush spot. You know, if any of the servants or masters are keeping tabs on us, they might attack us while we go to the church. I don't know. Or we can stay in the house anyway, but, well, it's not like Emiya's residence isn't exactly fortified either, so I don't know. I guess it's up to whether or not we trust Ilya. If we keep Ilya around, she might murder us in our sleep. For whatever reason, I don't know why she would. Well, maybe because she hates our guts, because we just, like, took her chance of winning the Holy Grail War. That could be a reason. Both of them, I don't know. Both of these decisions might end badly. But let's give her to Kotomine. Let's do that. Let's just pick an option, so let's do this one. Well, she should be sheltered at the church. I mean, yeah, technically it would be the safest option. That's the rules. Like, if you don't have like a servant and you need protection, you go to the church. That's the safest choice for Ilya.
決まりね。 まあ考えるまでもない話だったけど。
当然です。ここでイリアスフィールを受け入れることなどありえません。
シロ？
And it seems Ilya wouldn't like that. She would rather stay. Or then again, is she putting on an act, or is this her true feelings? I don't know. Because again, she could just be acting all chummy with us, so she could just kill us when we aren't aware of her presence. Or at least, when we let our guard down, rather. And she looks up at me with uneasy eyes.
やだ。違うよね、シロ。シロは私を捨てたりしないよね。
I place my hand over my grinding heart. I won't fall for your tricks, little lowly.
いや、イリアは教会に行った方がいい。あそこはうちなんかよりずっと安全だ。
At least, I look straight into her eyes and tell her. Ilya gasped in surprise.
イリアスフィール、シローがあなたを助けた以上、私もこれ以上の追撃はしない。その流らえた命を大事に。
やだー！シローのバカ、シローのバカ、シローのバカ！
Now she's gonna have a temper tantrum.
私やだよ。教会なんて嫌。他のところも嫌。一人になるのはもっと嫌だ。私はシローのところがいいんだもん。
Ilya cries like a small child. No, that's not right. She is a small child. I should have known that, but I forgot it at the most crucial moment. That's right. If I really care about Ilya, I can't entrust her into someone else's hands.
他のところってあんな立派な城があるのに？こんなのアインツベルンからすれば病学の土地ってもんじゃない。
Yeah, but you did beat up the, or rather, what's the word? Like destroyed a big chunk of the entrance, you know, of the castle, so... but I guess it's not too bad. Because I was thinking, you know, the castle might have been, like, damaged and stuff, but... Actually, we didn't see that directly, right? We only saw that in the interlude, when Berserker and Archer fought. But I guess, yeah, the rest of the castle is fine, right?
失礼ね。そんなことないわ。ここなんてネズミの爪ぐらいの狭さだもん。
It's even smaller?
だからリンは無駄に大きいけど、私ならちゃんとシローと住んであげられるんだから。
Which of us is she being rude to?
そうだよね、シロー。私ここにいてもいいよね。
She looks at me as if clinging on to me. That reminds of something. That reminds of something from a long time ago? Is that a correct sentence? Or should it say, that reminds me of something from a long time ago? Oh yeah. Father used to say that girls have to be protected. Mamoru.
さっきのは撤回する。
What? You can't give her to Kotomine after all?
ごめんな、イリア。イリアを連れてきたのは俺だ。聖杯戦争が終わるまで、残りのマスターと決着がつくまで、イリアはうちでかくまうよ。
Ah, it was a fake decision. Shiro could not reject the little Ilya.
シロー、
シロー、本当にアメちゃんだ。
イリア、苦しいって。
私のマスターに触れるな、イリアスフィール。
Don't touch my master.
それとアメちゃんとは何ですか？
そりゃ甘いってことでしょ。もう大甘。もうさっきから邪魔ばっかりして。あなた、私に恨みでもあるの？
Yes, probably.
当然でしょう。その身がシローに何をしたか私は忘れることなどない。シローもシローです。イリアスフィールをかくまうなど百害あって一理なしとわからないのですか。
それは違うだろう、セイバー。イリアにはもうサーバントはいないんだから危険ってことはない。もうマスターじゃないんだから俺たちと戦う理由もないし。それより下手に放り出して襲われたらどうするんだ。イリアの命だって危ないし、他のマスターに力をつけさせることになるぞ。
それはそうですが、しかし。
Saber hesitates. Whatever she may say, Saber does understand that Ilia would be attacked by other masters if she was left alone.
じゃあ次はこっちの番ね。セイバーを陥落したところ悪いけど、私はまだ説得されてないわ。
Okay, were you pouring something, Rin?
いいシロ。そいつはまだマスターなのよ。サーバントを失っても、レイジュがある限り、マスターはマスターだって教えたでしょ？
And thus, drinking tea gracefully, Tosaka interrupts. Oh, it was just tea. I was thinking, was she gonna pour poison or something? No, it was just tea.
え、お前それどういう意味だよ、トーサカ。
だから、レイジュさえ残っていれば、サーバントとは何人でも契約できるのよ。主のいないはぐれサーバントがいて、かつマスターにそのはぐれサーバントを許容できるキャパシティさえあれば、何人とだって契約はできるわ。
Well, doesn't that include you, Rin? Actually, I did say that Rin was out of the Holy Grail War, but technically she could still make a contract with another servant. She's probably still has her command spells. As far as I know, she didn't use any.
なんだよそれ。
Or rather, I'm trying to think. I think she did use one, right? From the very beginning in the prologue? For like Archer, you know, to tell her to obey her and stuff. But she still has two more, right?
じゃあ優れたマスターなら何人でもサーバントと契約できるってことか。
何人でもってわけじゃないわ。聖杯の力で呼び出せる英霊は7人が限度だから、最大でも7人ね。もっともどんなに優れた魔術師だって複数のサーバントを具現化させる魔力なんてないわ。あるとしても、その場合は10の魔力を5に分けて2人のサーバントを刺激することになる。そうなるとサーバントの能力は下がるから、複数のサーバントと契約する旨味はないけどね。
Technically, if you were to summon all 7 servants, that could be like a way to actually win, you know? You could like, there's a loophole in that, right? Technically there's 7 servants max, but if you just summon all the servants, then you would win, because there would be no one opposing you. Though I don't think that might not be possible, or... I don't know. That would be very anticlimactic, wouldn't it be? So, I don't know. I see. So if I formed a contract with Saber and Berserker would both share, or would both exist sharing my magical energy, so their abilities would considerably decrease. Would you also have to touch Berserker as well to share magical energy? So that means it's more efficient to choose one servant to give magical energy to. But again, like if you were to like summon all 7 servants, would that be? Or maybe not. I think Rin's just saying that you can technically make contracts with multiple servants. I don't think she's saying that you can't summon them, because I was saying that you could just summon all the servants, but I don't think you can do that. Actually, you can just make contracts with the other servants. You can't like summon them, right? In which case, it would be interesting actually if there was a like diplomatic, like peaceful way to end the Holy Grail War. It would be to, you know, be a very like charismatic master and just convince all of the other masters to give their servants to you. In which case, you know, you would split all your magical energy and you wouldn't really be able to kill anyone because you'd be using all your magical energy for all 7 servants, so they would be pretty weak. But you would win that way. You know, a diplomatic victory. If that's possible.
そういえば前に言ってたっけ、サーバントってマスターを変えられるって。あれってこのことだったんだな。
あら、珍しく勘がいいじゃない。シローの言う通り、サーバントがマスターを変えるっていうのはそういうことよ。マスターを失ったサーバントは消えるまでいくらか猶予がある。で、その間に他にサーバントを欲しがっているマスターを探して契約すれば元通りってわけ。
You know, that is what happened in the beginning where Shiro quit the Holy Grail War, right? He gave up his command spells and, you know, and Saber lost her master. And she did say something like, maybe I did actually, about like making a contract with Rin instead. But that would be inefficient, right? So maybe in that alternate timeline when Shiro got brutally destroyed by Ilya's berserker, I was thinking maybe Rin like told Archer like to, you know, go away, like cut off the contract with Archer and make a contract with Saber instead. That would be the better option, you know.
だからリンに気を許しちゃダメよ、シロ。そいつだってまだマスターなんだから。シロを殺してセイバーを奪うかもしれないし、まだ生きてるサーバントと再契約するかもしれないわ。
Well, yeah, that is a possibility. Yes, that is true.
そう。それはあんたにそっくりお返しするわ、イリア。
As well as Ilya.
そんなことないもん。私、他のサーバントとなんて組まない。イリアのサーバントはずっとバーサーカーだけなんだから。
I don't know what kind of relationship Ilya and Berserker had, but I can tell that for Ilya, that servant was special. And that's a surprise and a pleasant one. Ilya was cold-hearted as a master, but she still valued her partner.
あ、でもシロが負けちゃったら、セイバーは私がもらうわ。
Oh.
私はシロ以外のマスターが勝つのは認めない。でも、もしシロが負けちゃったら、私が代わりに勝ってあげるんだから。
Ilya says so to Saber and Tosaka.
バカなことは言わないでほしい。私はシロのサーバントです。あなたのサーバントになるつもりはありません。
へえ、別にそれでも構わないわ。私はシロに勝ってもらえればそれでいい。私が勝つのも、セイバーがシロを守ってくれるのも、どうせ最後は同じだもの。
Will it? And also, why do you want me to win? Why do you want Shiro to win? Don't completely understand. Ilya says things in a strange way. Well, he wants for me to win, but why would she want that? Yeah, why would she? Then, Tosaka must have found it strange too as she starts to think. Thinking face.
私は構います。ともかく私は認めません。リン、あなたからもシロに忠告してください。
ごめんなさい。聞いてなかったわ。もう一度言って、セイバ
ー。ですから、イリアスフィールをここにかくまうのは反対だということです。
ああ、それ？いいんじゃない？別にかくまうぐらいなら。
Oh, now you're okay with it?
Huh?
Huh? Me exactly, huh? Saber freezes. I'm surprised as well, so it's natural for the protesting Saber to freeze.
リン。 あなた、正気ですか？
Have you become the berserker?
ええ、冷静に考えてみればリスクはどっちも同じなのよ。イリアを一人にするのも、ここでかくまうのも、教会に預けるのも変わらない。いえ、むしろイリア目当てでマスターが来てくれた方が助かるわ。今のセーバーなら他のサーバントが束になっても負けっこない。聖杯戦争を終わらせるならその方が手っ取り早いし、それはあなただって望むところでしょ、セイバー。
Very confident. Again, I was thinking a 3 versus 1 would be the most, you know, like disadvantageous. How you say that word? Disadvantageous. That's the word, right? I don't know why. Why do I think that's wrong? I don't know. Anyway, that would be the worst possible outcome if Lancer, Caster, and Assassin were all to attack at once, you know, at Saber. But Rin is saying that she will be fine. That they aren't powerful enough, even if they were in a team. And when I think about it, if that's true, you know, if they think that as well, they might team up actually. That would probably that's probably what exactly will happen. I can't say words. That might actually happen, is what I'm saying.
ま、あなたが他のサーバントに負けるって言うんなら話は変わるけど。
まさか今の私がどのような状態かリンなら分かっているでしょう。シローが私のマスターである限り私に敗北などありえません。
でしょ？ならイリアをかくまうのも問題ない。それに気になることもある。シローの選択はもしかしたらとんでもない妙手だったのかもしれないわ。
Shiro being smart? Tosuka then falls silent. Saber must have accepted that as she reluctantly moves away from Ilya. Well, I guess we have another member of the Emiya residence. Amazing.